Welcome along, everybody. Good to see you. No doubt it's been a long and stressful week, so we can hopefully listen to some words of wisdom from a guest I've been wanting to speak to for quite a while, but not had the chance for various reasons. A lovely lady called Donna Proctor. Donna, we're in. Is Donna in? How are you doing, Donna? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well, thank you.
Excellent. How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Mum's home now, so all good. Had a bit of a nightmare of a week, as you know, but yeah, all good apart from that. Let me just nip through here. Hang on, let me show you. It's like people keep turning the lights off as I go through, so I'm just going to get some light on the subject.
It has been a long week. How are you feeling?
Oh, yeah. I'm still a bit bruised, understandably, but I bounce well, so that's a good thing.
Is it something, do we want to, I mean, you can't go into it, but can I mention what happened in a sense?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Right. Well, I guess it might be better coming from you, and then you can say exactly what you feel.
Well, I was at Glue's service station, fueling up, and to cut a long story short, some guy, how can I put it without, I don't want you getting banned, but yeah, some guy had obviously not had his end away for a while and decided to pick on me, and I got thrown around a little bit, and so did one of the other drivers that tried protecting me, so we ended up with the police at Glue's service station yesterday.
Now, I put a comment in on the post that you put out about this, and you told me about it as well, and I've seen photographs, and I can't believe it. One, for the time that we're in, and two, particularly on what you're trying to do as well. I've got this video up, Ready to Rock, and we're going to talk about your journey as well as what you're trying to do now in terms of campaigning. And, with all that in mind, I can't understand it in free on a chivalry angle, Donna. What? Testosterone, all right? That's just not right.
I'm not the only female driver to have been attacked by a male just recently. There was one about a month and a half ago at Tibshell. So it's not just the one male driver that thinks it's acceptable to throw women around. There are more than the one.
Right.
But it says I bounce well and I don't back down. I don't back down to bullies. I was bullied through school, so I've learned not to back down to bullies. Male, female, I'll take the one on the jaw if I have to, but I will not back down.
No, should you? To be honest, the reason why you're on here is not because you're from Yorkshire, but I'm going to define you as a Yorkshire lady that's very strong and opinionated in many ways, literally.
Originally, I'm actually from down south, but I wasn't down there long enough to obviously get the accent. And as for lady, I think we'll have a bit of a fallout over that one because I'm all woman, no lady.
And there she goes. And that's why I don't argue with Donna.
My own friends tried putting me on ladette to lady. That's how much of a lady I am. So, yeah. My own friends, you know what I mean? My own friends was going to put me on that programme. I would have lasted less than 24 hours, believe me. Trying to put me in finishing school. Get lost.
Well, honestly, you are an amazing woman, let's put it that way, because the story, I mean, let's start again. Listen, hi, Donna. Thank you for jumping on here, right?
No worries.
I'm going to try and cut this into different segments so people can make sense of everything that's going on. Firstly, let's start by saying this wouldn't have happened without the support and help from Miss V, Yvonne.
Definitely. Our little Miss V. Love her to bits.
Hope she's staying strong, staying positive wherever she is.
She's a fighter, that one.
And opinionated, and in many ways done so much help in terms of campaigning over the years. Yeah. I got the details. I've been watching you kind of off and on over the years, and I've admired what you've been doing. The fact that you're standing up, you know what I mean? Woman or not, but in an environment where it's quite brutal. the online environment. It takes guts, so I admire anyone, and then particularly when they've got common sense. So you're someone I've always wanted to speak to, but never had that opportunity for so many reasons. So,
well, it's funny enough, I've always wanted to talk to you as well, and we've always had that common denominator, and it's took this long for us to talk. Because I've watched a lot of you. The very first video I remember watching of you was when that lady walked up to you and actually was screaming in your face that you was a racist. And I just was like, wow, and I've followed you since, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's been both ways.
Well, I mean, that highlighted, didn't it, with the position that we're both still in. If you have a difference of opinion, it's quite easy for you to get ostracized, you know, castigated, put to one side, vilified.
Yeah.
You know, in all manner, in real life as well as online. That's justified.
Oh, yeah.
What was your initial journey then, Donna? What made you want to initially stand up?
My initial journey was when my family was ripped to bits by social services.
Right.
And I started in the family movement because I was basically, and it played with my head for a lot of years, where they let me keep 2 but took 3. And I'm thinking, so how can I be a bad mum and a good mum at the same time?
Yes.
And it played with my head. It did play with, and it's only been the last couple of years where I've been able to actually really get on with my life, because I know the kids support what I do. The kids know we'd never stop loving them and we'd never stop fighting for them. Do you know what I mean? But it took a lot of years for it to get round my head that how could I be a good mum for 2 but a bad mum for 3? I was either a good mum or a bad mum. I can't be in between.
See, that's the thing that probably a lot of people won't appreciate, because when they make these decisions that affect people, they don't understand what it does to the biological mother or the parents or whatever, however you want to class it. I can't understand.
And I was basically shafted in court as well. When you actually read the statements, the first one said that the kids were overweight, but then the kids were never fed. So how could they be overweight and not fed?
Contradictions everywhere.
And they used to say that I had strangers in the house. I'm still waiting for this list of strangers that I was supposed to have in the house. It's just on and on. It's basically when you actually listen to other parents that have gone through it. And I actually found one a few years back, and I wish I'd printed it off because I've not been able to find it since. And it's a script that they run by, questions that they use, and then certain things they use to alienate the parents to win in court.
Yeah.
So,
I've seen it so often, I've heard it so often. I've got to admit, the lovely lady that's facilitating this stream tonight, Katie Jane Swallow, will wholeheartedly agree with that. Parental alienation, Sharon Binks often talks about it on this channel. Katie herself is going through the family courts and what all entails and stuff. So when that happened to you, which is still not, where are we at with that? Is that resolved now, or?
Things are moving a lot better than they did, but how I see it now is because they've been in the placement so long. Yeah. If I go to court now and get them back, I'm then going to do to them what the social services did to them 6 years ago, and I'm not prepared to screw my own children's heads up. While they're happy and they're settled and they're doing very well, I've got to take it on the chin. As much as I hate it, I've got to take it on the chin. For my kids, not for anyone else. This isn't about me and my partner. This is about the kids and how the kids are going to thrive. And if I mess with their heads, they're not going to thrive, and they're doing really, really well.
Man, so you're taking so many punches there, Donna, and this is all on the basis of it wrong, unjust, you know? Do you have contacts in any way with?
Yeah, we actually went to see a play with them in, and I turned into a complete baby because I saw my youngest do a solo on stage, and we get on well with the foster carer. I've got no qualms with the foster carer whatsoever. It's the social services and the other people that I've got the problem with.
Sure.
And they do really well. My eldest has already been accepted into college, and she's not even done her exams yet.
Right. Okay.
So they are doing well, and I'm not prepared to ruin it for them, because that would make me as bad as the social services.
Oh, man. I know you keep saying that, and I know it's logical, and I know you're doing it for the right reasons, and that's why you're such a great woman. I don't want to say lady again.
I think we'll have a bit of a fallout over that one, because I'm all woman, no lady.
But honestly, that kind of hurts me in a way.
Oh, it's painful.
You
It is
know,
painful.
yeah, it's fucking wrong that, you know, on all levels. But, you know, what I will say is when you were seeing and speaking to people that were going through this,
Yeah.
how did that give you any solace? Did it make you give you some fight to want to stand up and speak out about it, or where was you at?
I'm one of them where I've become like a healed healer. I'm not exactly healed, but the way I find the best, I don't want people going through the pain that I went through.
Right.
So if I can help them, if I can make one person smile a day, I know I've done something right. Like the example I was telling you on the phone with the little girl in the car in the traffic jam that was really bored. So there's me and 3 drivers all waving at her and keeping her occupied while we're in a traffic jam. And it put a smile on her face. And to me, that's healing. That's helping other people. Even if it's just a little girl that's bored in a traffic jam, it's still helping someone.
Yeah. Yeah. Good energy, positive energy.
Yeah. Always keep your vibes high.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer of that, Donna. That being said, the understanding of trying to do that, one, when you're going through what you're going through, and 2, when you then turn to the online. What was that like to transition? I mean, what platform did you start?
I started on Facebook, and I was with, like I said, I was with the children's movements. I did a lot of research into foster companies. I've got so much paperwork, obviously not at home, for anyone that's watching and thinks they can come and bust my door down to try and find this paperwork. It's not at home. But I did a lot of digging. I've got paperwork from foster companies down to ones that send children to Dubai for education, but are never actually registered back in this country. They have a chat site where you don't actually have to give your name and your age. So there could be anyone on there talking to young children, which goes with all what's going on in this country anyway, with the grooming gangs and other paedophiles and everything else. It actually got to the point where my other half was coming home on a weekend and saying politics and stuff's banned on a weekend because I wasn't sleeping. This was when I was going into a very depressed stage, because obviously I was trying to find a way of coping with what I was coping with. But yeah, that's how I basically started. And when I was online, I actually started helping people more over Christmas and stuff. My phone was always open over Christmas if they needed to talk to me, because Christmas can be one of the worst times to not have your kids around you. So I used to have my phone open, so they had someone to come and talk to, and they didn't feel the need to go and do something because they got that low. So that is basically how I started with the children.
When you're talking there, I understand it. And the coping mechanisms, strategies that you have to employ all of a sudden, because you've gone from maybe someone that's gone through something initially, you've then moved to people seeing other people, then it blows the door open on waking up on other little elements because you're joining this community. Yep. And then you've got all them to manage all at once. And then you become a contributor, as in, a content maker. But then you're going through them different stages and waking up again and going through that journey. And it's like a mind-blowing experience. So when you're talking about the low bit of it, and particularly your other half saying, listen, I think politics is off the table, I can appreciate that too, because it does, or it did that to me so much. Even today, it still does it. I'm not so much I like to take the piss, I like to have a laugh, but man, the shit going on in this world, and I want it as a conversational point at times, and there's sometimes I'm in the company of people that don't want to talk about it, but at the same time, I've got to be aware of where they're at as well. That I can't stay at that level all the time, because that ain't good for me either. So I understand it, Donna, I really did.
Well, it was actually me that red-pilled my other half as well, because when I started work, he then started getting into it was further on than the children's movement by then. I was doing videos and stuff about certain politicians, and I was really getting into the side where I was realising there was so much going on and so many people were corrupt within the government system. I actually red pilled Dave. So then we both started together, and then we've just been a force that won't back down now, and we work together, and we work well together. He's got a little angry man syndrome, but yeah, and he can be a proper arsehole, but he's my arsehole. Do you know what I mean? It's you either love him or you hate. He's proper like Marmite. Do you know what I mean? But I won't have him any other way.
You know what? Well, do we do this now? Because I've not got onto the know. I'm going to say it later. This guy is a star. That's all I'm going to say for now. And then when the topic comes up later, can I ask what occupation, when you were first doing your YouTubing, what were you doing? What were you working as?
I think my first videos, I weren't actually working at the time, but it wasn't long before I started working, and I was the second class as a second man and attendant for wide loads. Now I'm an escort.
Can you explain what that entails? Because I kind of get it, but you're talking with layman.
Basically, it's because certain wide loads, anything over with 10 foot, you don't really need a second man for. But basically, it's if you're going down narrow roads, you need someone to make sure that you're not whacking it off all the trees, because these caravans only has to see a branch and half the gutter clips fall off. They're very fragile. So we used to have to like direct them in, make sure that when they're passing things, we're looking out the window, because obviously it's a bigger blind spot because of the size of the load. And then helping unload.
This is a different world that you're experiencing. Yeah. Big trucks, like, I mean, are you that way inclined? Do you like your trucking events, your motor events and stuff?
Yeah, we do a lot of truck shows. Obviously, you know about me deciding that at 40 years old I was going to try and pull a truck as well.
That's where I'm going, Donna. But let's just slowly get there, yeah?
Yeah. I'm not what you call normal. Far from it, to be fair. But I've always been interested in the mechanics of things, because I like it, because I know it gets you from A to B.
Yeah.
I wanted to know how it got you from A to B. So I actually did mechanics as well. I can MIG weld. But my dream thing has always been driving. And it's as corny as it sounds, it's in my blood. It is in my blood. I even want, because I know I'm going into the trucks, which are quite slow compared to the job I do now, which is the escort side of things. I'm going into stock car racing.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm destined to have a few bones broken, I think, over the time, but you only live once, so you make the most of it while you're here.
Honestly, I've got so much admiration for that world anyway, because I kind of get a glimpse of it, but also for yourself, just spreading and, you know, taking these opportunities, and it's just slowly getting bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? Let's get to the juicy one then. What made you decide to pull a truck?
Because I wanted to, I was supporting, I call him my big brother from another mother, Ryan, and he did 30 trucks in 30 days for Make-A-Wish. And I wanted to know what the burn felt like, because I had, I've still got utmost respect for him, but I just thought, respect to you, do you know what I mean? So I wanted to give it a try, and that's where it started. So yeah, decided I was going to pull a truck.
And what was the distance? 30 metres?
30 metres, yeah.
I mean, on different levels, right? I've got to look at that and go, fucking hell, that you know, on
once you get it going. Sorry,
yeah.
go on.
No,
once you get it going,
yeah,
it gets quite easy. It's that initial getting it going. Because obviously you've got the roll on it, you know, and once you've got the roll on it, you can go. But it's that the initial getting it going that's the hard bit.
I struggled, right?
Oh no!
This is too good not to bring up. Come on, and this is such an achievement, Donna. This is what I'm trying to get at. My wife, right, no matter what she's into, is never going to wake up and go, you know what? I'm going to pull the cab of an articulated lorry 30 metres. It's never going to happen, Donna. So what I'm saying is, this is how spectacular Fucking
I do want to do some more this year. I'm actually going to speak to Ryan because little Ethan, who we do the charity stuff for, his dream is to have his own truck show for his charity. So we're looking into that, and then I'm going to ask Ryan to come aboard, and we're going to hopefully do some truck pulling at Ethan's own show. Hopefully the end of this year, but that's just still in its early stages at the minute.
Right. So Ethan, you referring to the charity now that you were doing?
Yeah.
Was you doing this initially for the charity? Yeah. All the proceeds go to it.
Yeah. What it was is Ethan at a young age got Burkitt's leukemia.
Right.
And he thought his signature is his big smile and his thumbs up and slip the clutch. He's mad on trucks. He's in remission now. But even though this is why I admire him so much, is because even though they was going through so much pain and going through something that no parent should ever go through, they still managed to build this charity. They're just waiting for a charity number now. Everything's there waiting. It's just they're doing the charity number, and it's just taking a little bit of a while to get this charity number sorted. But and we like part of the family, so we've seen what they go through. They'd even come down to visit my brother because my brother's disabled, as you know. We took him toy shopping and took him for a meal, and he got 2 lots of ice cream because he couldn't have strawberry sauce on instead of chocolate sauce. So I got him both bits of ice cream so he could have both. It's just daft little things like, but we are like part of the family now, and that's who we do. I've done jewellery for him, but that's who we're hoping to do the big truck show for, and that hopefully I'll be pulling some more trucks. So all proceeds will be going to that particular charity. When
you first told him that you were going to pull a truck, what was his reaction?
Oh, Dave's or Ethan's?
Well, both. All right, both.
Well, I was going to say, because Ethan chuckles. Carl thinks I'm absolutely nuts, which is Ethan's dad. But as for the truck show at the minute, because it's not they're set in stone, we don't want to get Ethan's hopes up. So it'll be more nearer the time when we know it's there, and then I'll let him know. But Dave, as you'll hear on the audio in the background, exactly what he thought of me pulling the truck.
Bless the little cotton socks.
With his little commentary in the background.
This is Dave filming it as well as speaking while he's filming it, yeah?
Yeah.
I just want to see your fucking head explode.
Right. Dave, mate, if you're listening, balls of steel, dude. Balls of steel. Most men would actually feel like demasculated with that, because this is why I'm saying it, right? And this is why I really rate this guy, because it obviously water off a duck's back. This is the relationship you've got. The way I see it, my mates knock on the door. They want help pulling a van. They're asking for my wife rather than me. That's going to demasculate the bloody hell out of me. But clearly Dave is on it, mate.
He's one of them where he'll say, I don't lift anything that don't need lifting. I won't pull anything that don't need lifting. And why should I run if I don't need to run? So
fair philosophy, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want to explain the circumstances to this then before we start?
This was just before Ryan was about to do the 30 metres in 30 days. The 30 trucks in 30 days over 30 metres for Make-A-Wish. And it was when the news had started getting interest, and it was going into a newspaper and stuff. So we all went to support him. And I said to him, I says, I want to feel what you now. It's not exactly. It's not the same, because obviously he's about 6.5 foot tall and I'm 5'3". So the burn for me pulling one truck was a little bit more than what he'd get, because he's a unit. But I wanted to understand what he was going to feel. And after the 30 days, he's going to feel it. And he did the 30 days, and then he did an extra one. I think the last truck he did was 54 ton, which I will never, ever shift shit at all. There's no way on this earth. That's world's strongest man stuff, do you know what I mean? But it was just, I wanted to appreciate what he was doing. And that's why I did that truck pull that day. But then when I got to the end of the truck pull, I was like, the adrenaline was going, and I actually did want to do a second one that day, but I thought I'll end up causing serious injury. So I decided that I'll do another one, but it won't be the same day.
Yeah, very wise, actually,
Yeah.
looking at it. Just looking at that, thinking, my word. Right, Donna, let's get this on. Let's do this, because I've got to see this myself. This is Donna pulling a truck 30 metres. Awesome.
There we go. Now Donna's going to try it. I think I'm going to need a new escort driver tomorrow. But we'll see. Bless her little cotton socks. I just want to see her fucking head explode. Go on. Go on. It's going. It's going. It's going. It's going. Fucking put some weight into it, love. Go on. And there she goes. And that's why I don't argue with Donna. Go on, Babs. Go on.
Go on, Donna! Come on, moving!
Go on.
Go on, Donna!
If she thinks she's getting a massage tonight, she can.
Donna! Dave forgot the video! Dave forgot the video!
Don't say that. You...
I love that. I love the very ending bit.
Dave forgot the video!
Don't say that. You...
The little bit of the story behind that was when a guy called Charlie went up on one of the lift things to get a video of Ryan when he did his. And people forgot to press record on the video camera. So Ryan actually had to do 2 for the papers that day. So he's tried winding me up by thinking Dave would get slapped. But obviously, as you hear Dave go, don't tell her that. So, yeah. It was.
He's a character. He is a
Oh,
character.
definitely, he's a character, but he's definitely like Marmite. You either love him or you hate him. There's no in between with him, and he'll tell you exactly how he thinks or what he thinks.
Go on. It's going. It's going. It's going. It's going. Fucking put some weight into it, love. Go on. Bless her little cotton socks.